Hello, everybody. My name is The Cove, and we are here for a Panic restaurant race, which I cannot wait for. We have Hirexen going against Sidetrakkd, who are the top two runners of the game. I'll talk a little bit about the world record history in a bit. We should hopefully get started here in 1 second. So the background of this game, you have the hero, which you can see on Hirexen's screen. His name is Cookie. The antagonist, who you'll see hopefully in not too long, will be somebody that looks a little bit like Waluigi. His name, though, is Odove or Odova. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he has taken over Cookie's restaurant. And so Cookie needs to fight to take it back. And so because of that, all of the food in the restaurant has become bewitched and is now enemies that Cookie has to get past. So let's talk about the world record history a little bit before we get started. So I think White Hat had this world record like a couple years ago at just over a 14-minute time. And then Axel Blaze took it in March of 2017. With a sub 14 at a 13:59. And then Hirexen and Sidetrakkd fought back and forth for a long time in the summer, last summer, right when it was announced in Big 20. And the 7th Big 20 had Panic Restaurant in it. And during that time, it came down like a half a minute to where it is right now at a 13:27. And I think it is a fairly optimized time. I think there's about maybe 5 or so seconds left to save on the route currently. I mean, they're doing optimizations to save fractions of a second right now. And so there's not too much time left to save unless they can find some more glitches or new strats. Sorry, Tarbash. My knowledge of the game doesn't go back that far. But shout outs to Eggman as well. But I hope you guys are excited for this. This is one of my favorite games. And I was incredibly happy when Sidetrakkd let me commentate it because he was looking for somebody. And it is such a joy. And I wish it wasn't about a $700 game, give or take $100. Because I feel like everyone should play this at least once. Looks like we had a little bit of tech difficulties, but I think we are about ready to get started now. This first stage is going to be really straightforward. I think the one thing you're going to see straight off the bat is that you don't want to do any standing attacks. Whenever you're attacking on the ground, you can't move forward for about a half a second. And so every time you attack on the ground, it delays you. So you're going to see them doing like pretty much hitting A and B almost at the same time to do a jump attack. And yes, Raiko, if you do actually own this game, it is worth many hundreds of dollars. Otherwise, I can give you a P.O. box you can send it to if you don't want it anymore. Okay, the countdown is going. It looks like Sidetrakkd is starting. And Hirexen starting. Okay, So each of the stages are kind of named after a course of the meal. And so this is the appetizer stage, which is pretty aptly named. But like I said, you see them all doing, or them both doing little jump attacks. They grab a spoon, which pretty much doubles the range of their attacks, which makes it so much easier to actually hit things without getting damaged. Hirexen does take one little hit there, which hopefully shouldn't. Yep, there's a health there, so he can fix that real quick. And Sidetrakkd got a really nice quick kill there. This first hit here, where it's coming down, is tough to get without getting damaged, but both of them get that really well. And they are on to the next stage. They're going to skip past the casino slot machine part of the stages. But this second stage is kind of difficult. Like the stage itself isn't difficult. What they're attempting to do is to hit 2 global cycles for 2 elevators. And Sidetrakkd gets the first one. And while they're doing that, they have some extra time where they can try to reduce lag and make sure that they are killing as many enemies as possible, because the lag in this game is really, really bad. On this section here with the apples and the health, Sidetrakkd went on the bottom to grab the health. That's a little bit of a route diversion. He still grabs that, which is good. The second elevator cycle. Looks like we are getting a little bit of lag on Hirexen's side. I think they're just pausing Sidetrakkd maybe. And my favorite power-up of the game is the pot. The spinning pot, it makes you invincible, and you can just pretty much destroy everything in your way for a little while. And Sidetrakkd is at the second boss, which is a microwave with a bunch of chickens in it, which makes complete sense. And as you kill the microwave, the chickens thankfully turn into angel chickens and fly off. So it seems like they were not harmed too much during this. So this first room of level 3 is actually really important to be able to hit the global cycles in this stage, or at least the first one. But after they get to this first elevator, the rest of the level, there's a little extra time or leeway. The second one is much, much more forgiving than this first global cycle here. Hirexen's done a really good job of keeping up after he took a couple damage shots in the very first level. You saw Sidetrakkd. He went up on the top there, and then he thought better of himself and he backed down. The reason for that is that spork that was just on Hirexen's screen there. If you grab that, you need to take damage to lose it, and it's a really, really annoying weapon. And so I think Sidetrakkd was going to go for that jump, which is a pretty tight jump, but then he was like, you know what, race, we're going to go ahead and back down and take the safe route, which I think was the better choice. And we saw Hirexen do the same exact thing. And this is where Sidetrakkd is that second elevator lift. He is preparing for the toaster skip right here. There's a nice little skip there where you can skip a little bit of the level just by getting hit by one of the toast bread things that are coming out of the toasters. And Hirexen is trying to do it as well. He did get it on the second try, so that's good. And a little another diversion that you saw very briefly, Hirexen grabbed the health upgrade that was right there. Sidetrackd did not want to waste the second, just so he thought 1 second was better than getting his health refilled from 2 to 4, which hopefully for his sake will be fine. These bubble sections are always really nerve-wracking too, but he does get to the end of the level with the shrimp boss, which is by far the worst boss in the game. The shrimp fall from the ceiling randomly, and if you get knocked off that platform, Sidetrakkd does take a death, which honestly can happen on this boss. It is really random, but you do not want to get knocked off the platform here. God, Sidetrakkd once again took really, really bad RNG. Hirexen just went in and just destroyed it without getting hit. And that really shows exactly what can happen with this game. Wow. So Sidetrakkd does get through, but Hirexen took a huge lead there. And that is all entirely RNG on the shrimp. So on this level, there will be a couple turkey skips they can go for. I don't know if these guys are turkeys or chicken or... So he did go for that one, but he got hit by the kebab. That is a really, really tight window there to get through there. We'll see if Sidetrakkd... I bet Sidetrakkd might be a little tilted. He might go for it. Oh, he actually decides to play it a little safer, which is probably good because he only has 2 health. One bad thing, or one thing to at least know about this game is you don't refill your health after each stage. And so if you are at a lower amount of health, you probably don't want to do risky strats in a race setting that could result in you losing more health. Thank you, Steel Thunder. But yes, we were talking about the things with legs running around, not the kebabs. The lollipop down there looks attractive to go get. It refills your health completely, but it does take about 10 seconds. Nice. And there was a chicken skip there that Sidetrakkd that did get as well. I didn't see if Hirexen got that, but Hirexen is busy spinning with the pot again, or the pan. I don't know, but the music that happens during that and just you running and just destroying everything, I just absolutely love that power-up. And then this last room is actually really, really tough to make it through without like holding forward. We saw Hirexen play it a little safe there, just to lose a fraction of a second just to be safe and not take damage. This boss is also pretty painful to do quickly if you're not really, really good at this game. But Hirexen gets a good kill. You can kill him, I believe, before he jumps to the left. But that's still a really good kill. Yeah, and Sidetrakkd gets a little better kill, so he gains a little bit of time on that boss. I apologize, my phone the ringer's on. So there is a fork at the beginning of this, or a spork at the beginning of this stage. This is the weapon that I was talking about earlier that Sidetrakkd decided that he didn't want to grab. As you can see, they're grabbing the spork, and then they're just going to take damage pretty quickly so they can lose it. There is a 2-frame window where you can skip grabbing that spork, but it is really, really tight. I mean, 2 frames is a 30th of a second. So if you're not, especially for a race, I would say you probably just want to try to grab it and go. This is your... Ooh, Hirexen just grabbed a hidden health upgrade, which is good. If you didn't know about that, it can save you. I've definitely had to go grab that many a time playing this game. And this is your token ice physics stage. Whenever they are on the ice, it is really hard to stop. You can jump easily to stop your momentum, but you don't want to do that when you have those spikes above you. One thing I did not mention was the plates. So even though Hirexen is ahead, he did not grab the plates here. And this is going to cost him a lot of time on the boss. And if Sidetrakkd can actually keep those plates without getting hit until the boss, he's going to have a huge advantage to come back in this race. You know, I gotta ask though, like, why in the world did Cookie design his restaurant like this? I feel like, why would you put spikes in your restaurant? It's just kind of asking that if someone evil takes it over, you need to come back and come all the way through it. So I don't know. Okay, so watch the difference between these boss kills. Hirexen has to constantly be chasing the ice cream back and forth, whereas Sidetrakkd can just sit in the middle and keep wailing on it with the plates. That's why the plate was so important. And as we see, Sidetrakkd takes a couple second lead. But this is getting really, really exciting heading into the last stage, which this stage doesn't have any global timers, really. There's nothing overly tricky. Really, all it is mechanics, who can play it better. And then the last boss that we will see should not have any RNG. He's the same every time. So I like where this is. This is really close coming down to the last stage, and it's really just going to be who can play it better. And that's how it should be. Yep, good point, Mitch. Sidetrakkd's timer is a little bit ahead, so they are probably almost tied. So you have a 12:05 when Sidetrakkd goes through the door. We have a 12:07, so yeah, they're 2 seconds apart. So the French fries, at least to those of us who are not gods at this game, can be pretty annoying. Ooh, Sidetrakkd does a good job of avoiding all those fish, as does Hirexen. Hirexen gets through it a little better. And also, when we get through to the boss here, be prepared to see some of the worst English grammar that you've ever seen. You just got one more big room until the last boss. Yeah, these guys are both just killing this stage. This is really fun to watch. I had to say that. So welcome, you lucky guy, but your luck has just run out. Bye. Yeah, so Sidetrakkd is on the boss. And for this boss, you actually need to be hitting the balloon. Somehow, Cookie picked up a carton of eggs that he's able to throw. Haha, you can't catch up with me in a broken down pan like that. Yeah, so O'Dove throws some carrots, maybe? And Sidetrakkd gets a near perfect kill on that. And time is when, I believe, when the pan starts shaking. She's a 14:12, which is an incredible time for a race. I also like how it says you can't catch up to me, and then immediately 2 seconds later, he just catches right up. I also think it's funny, as Hirexen finishes this up. There we go. If you do not kill him fast enough, the balloon will actually reinflate, and you'll have to do it again. But I love how Cookie falls, then he grabs the balloon. The balloon pops, and he falls again, and then slams down on the ceiling of his restaurant. But But I mean, a 14:42 for Hirexen, even with that pretty bad death, like not bad in the fact that he died, but the amount of time he lost from the checkpoint. A 14:42 is still an insane time in this game. So GG's both to Sidetrakkd and Hirexen. Like I said, they are both the best 2 runners of this game. And if you guys haven't tried this, obviously you're probably not going to be able to grab an emulator copy of it, or a cartridge of it, but definitely pick it up on emulator and give it a try. I think we have Roger Rabbit next, with Chambers. And I think JKL might be commentating. So hype for both of those. Those are 2 awesome runners. If you don't know them, give Hirexen and Sidetrakkd a follow. Definitely, they are 2 really, really good speedrunners. But thank you guys for the opportunity to commentate, and I will talk to you guys in a bit.